And good Wednesday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. I certainly hope you've had a good evening, and welcome back as we begin another day. Right now we're sitting at 52. It will be 67 before it's all said and done. And did I mention that it's January? 67 degrees. And weren't we freezing just a day ago? Yep, we sure were. So what does that mean? Rain is on the way. We'll get into the forecast here in just a moment and divide all this up and try to make sense of what's happening. Some strong thunderstorms may roll through tonight, causing some severe weather. It's going to be late. Now, there's also mention of, is there some possibility of wintry mix, meaning freezing rain? Yes, right now it's to the south of Meridian, according to the National Weather Service. Wouldn't take much for it to move, but there's going to be a storm system that moves through the area tomorrow night, late Thursday into Friday morning, that will skirt east through Alabama, through Georgia, and up the South Carolina coast, or the Carolinas, let me word it that way, and wreak havoc up through there. But forecasted right now, not for the Meridian area, but not far from us. And we'll look at the breakdown of that here in just a moment so you can see that. I don't want any surprises. You never know with Mother Nature what she will decide to do. All that's up and coming here in a few moments. So how are you? I hope good. As we all, I had one of the best cups of coffee I think I've had in 2 years a minute ago. Some mornings you make it just right, and I had one of those. If I go back, it'll never turn out that good again, will it? Let's look at radar for a second and just see what's happening across the nation as we begin this day. As we pull up radar, here we are. As we look at this, state of Mississippi looks pretty good. We do have a small shower that we're showing here in east of Tupelo into the area of Florence, Alabama. We got some scattered showers around Murfreesboro and around Nashville this morning also. Nothing serious, but it is some showers. Just north of there, Evansville, Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky, and Lexington. If you're going to be in that neck of the woods over the next little bit, they do have a little bit of wintry weather advisory going on there, and that's going to last until 7 o'clock through the 20th. That's through tomorrow night. And that goes all the way up through Charleston, West Virginia. Bunch of hills up through there. So if you're watching, headed in that direction for any reason, keep that in mind. Now, here's what I'm talking about. When this storm system moves through tomorrow, Thursday night, it will clip somewhere right along in here and cut across here. And this is what they're going to be watching up through here. Winter storm watch until 6 a.m. It's going to move right up through here, through Georgia and along these areas. Look at it here in just a second there. As we move back, we're showing some fog down in San Antonio area, if you're out in there watching today from Texas. And as always, let's go over here. We got some fog in Arizona near Las Vegas. And yes, it's raining once again in the Seattle area. I think it rains every day there, or at least it seems it. Well, as we look up here, it's cold toward Wyoming in these areas there. As we take a look there, Webster, North Dakota, a negative 12 degrees this morning. Yep, glad I'm not there. Let's look over here in Montana. Oh, yeah, it's even worse. Negative 16. What is that? Whitewater, Montana. So if you're sitting there today, it's so bad. Oh, yeah, wind chill, negative 26. How could you ever really want to crack your door living in that? Maybe a few of you that live there need to tell me that. That I guess it's where you grow up, what you become accustomed to. I'm not sure I could ever do that. Negative 26 wind chill factor. You'd have to have some kind of serious pipe system going at your house, wouldn't you? That's the way that looks this morning. Here in just a moment, we'll get into all of this and give our breakdown for our little Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana area there of how it's going there. Let's see. Terry Ray says that Mother Nature is bipolar with PMS. I tend to agree with you there. Good morning to everybody. Mike Moore, how in the world do you feel in there? Joyce Gressett is up. Joyce Godwin, Denise Fulton, glad to see you there. Also, Joy Robinson, glad you're here. Joyce Snowden Godwin joins us there from the Nashville area. LaWanda Grantham. Also, Roy Ellis, I see Denise Wheat is up. Let's see here. Randall, Anna, how are you doing today? Also, Mike Dallas joins us. Lamar Embry, hadn't seen you in a while, Lamar. Hope everything's good in your world. Teresa Spivey, April Roberts, Donna Roseman, Shirley Sharp. Hey, girl, beat line. Tommy Ainsworth is up. Miss Sandy White, Orena Bonner. Bunch of y'all are up today. Bree Packer. Too cold for me, LaWanda says, up in those areas there. Honestly, I don't think they make Long Johns that could be that thick. I had some of those good ones one time before I finally wore them out, and I just don't think they would phase that weather. As we look at some things across the state of Mississippi this morning, Jackson, Mississippi is going to be renaming a portion of Ellis Avenue after a Mississippi blues artist. I'm sure you've heard the name Bobby Rush. They voted in the council to make that change yesterday, so he'll get a street named after him. As we go to Adams County, which would be down in the Natchez, Mississippi area, this is sad news. A gentleman was missing. They kept looking for him, couldn't find him. They did a welfare check, and on his place, he had been trying to cut a tree and somehow or another fell and was hanging upside down. And it took crews quite a while to cut him down. He was deceased and had been that way for 2 to 3 days there. Horrible thing there as I read how that worked out. But he fell backwards. His legs were hung between the trees, and he was upside down. It took them hours to get all that straightened out. Condolences to his family members there, but that did happen in the state of Mississippi. Always be careful when you're cutting. Have somebody with you. It isn't worth doing things like that alone. Just isn't. This is something that I have never seen before. A lawmaker is proposing, and I want to say this is out of Ohio. I think is Idaho is where the a panel out of Idaho is proposing. They want to take this to Congress to where once a year we would fly flags at half staff for all the abortions that have happened in the last 50 years in the United States. Do I think that will actually make it? I don't, but it is a nice thought. There is a lot of lives that have been lost that way. But that is out there. At least it's some people trying to bring attention to what really goes on behind the scenes. It's one of those things America does, and I'm sure not everybody agrees with me, but America does do that. It's a sin. It's horrible. That's my thoughts on that. As we keep going through headlines of what are going on, do you remember the young lady? We'll talk more about this morning at 8 o'clock. Do you remember the young lady that was going to UCLA? She was a student working in a furniture store. She was stabbed for no reason by a homeless guy. Well, it turns out he's a career criminal, as I try to get it all out. Dangerous, has been that way. A rap sheet forever. And judges and such don't keep them in prison where they belong. And then so another American loses their life because we have judges that don't do their jobs. That's a few of the things we're working on. There's a lot of other headlines this morning that we're going to talk about. I hope you'll join me. It all kicks off this morning at 8 o'clock. Madison will be back. Candace is still out as she tries to recover from the Omicron. Boy, and if you don't think that stuff is real, it's everywhere. You're bound to know someone that has gotten sick this time. In most cases, it's not as bad, but I do know 2 or 3 people that have caught the devil over this, so to speak, that it's been horrible for them. Worse than others that had those original ones that came through. And as we all know, we probably have not seen the last of this. It just keeps going somewhere and mutating and becoming something else. I would hate to be a scientist trying to figure this out, of what to do next. I'm not sure that there's a cure to stop the entire thing, just like the common cold. I don't think there's a way to stop this. Whatever this is has been unleashed. I think it's here forever. I hate to even say it that way, but I certainly believe that. So together, maybe we'll get through it and learn how to deal with it like we do the common cold. Hope so. We don't need the economy torn apart by this anymore. It's been kind of horrible, hasn't it? It has. As this morning rises, let's face it with a smile. That always makes things a little bit better. Have a good mood about yourself as you go out and maybe be a little bit better for everybody. All right, let's turn and go into what the forecast says, and we're going to get into what is coming, the best we can tell. Let's do that now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Big thank you to EMEPA. As we go to our record highs and record lows today, it was 1982 that it was 82. Warm day, wasn't it? We all think of Randy Travis. 1982. What a song that was. Today's record low was set in 1948 at a record low of 4 degrees. And for us, that's major cold here in the South. 4 degrees, burr and burr and burr. What's happening today? We're going to hit a high of 67. Now, through the most part, we won't see the rain until after 3 o'clock. It'll slowly make its way up here in the Mississippi Delta. They'll get rain before us as it comes across into the afternoon. Only a 30%, but that's going to change in the late hours. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Highs down in Hattiesburg, 71. Meridian will reach 67. Philadelphia, about 66, around 65 there at Mississippi State. If you're going to be at campus as we go across, we'll be warm in Vicksburg at 72 at the Big Bridge where the big flag flies. 71 down in Brookhaven and 72 in Natchez as well. As we cut across to Alabama, as we go to Gainesville, Alabama, it looks like we'll have about 65 degrees there in Gainesville. Also, as we go through Geiger and those areas, Livingston will see 66, as well as Demopolis. Troy, looks like y'all have 65, as we do have clouds and some light rain moving into the area late as well into Alabama. So let's move into this and discuss this. Here is the severe possible weather staying just out of range of downtown Meridian. It only takes in this extreme northwestern corner, and we can look at this on my map as well. We'll do that. This is right here, takes in half of Kemper County and half of Noxubee County, all of Winston up to Mississippi State, all of Noxubee, Neshoba County, and most of Newton County. Now, this is a level 1. This will move in after most likely 10 o'clock tonight is what we're looking at. 10 to 2 a.m. is where it's going to be coming from. You have to get to Louisiana for it to be upscale to a level 2. This should start dying down as it comes across Mississippi. What do we have chances of tonight, especially if you live in Newton and Neshoba County and Winston County? You have a chance of severe storms, damaging wind gusts, and hail up to a size quarter. Now, that's what we've got over there to be a little bit worse in Louisiana. Again, late afternoon to early evening is what they're saying on this. As we look at this, excuse me, severe wind possibilities, it looks like the Mississippi Delta will have the wind possibility of strong. We're going to have gusts of about 20 today. But here in the Mississippi Delta, it'll be a lot worse as we look at all this wind that's going to be there. So not really that bad for us. Now, this is what is concerning as we watch this. There's a lot about this we really do not know. Winter storm possibility. And if you'll look at this map, it's forecasting mainly here in South Mississippi as it cuts across. This will be tomorrow night into Friday morning. It cuts across here low in the state of Mississippi. Now, I have looked at different models. I've analyzed everything. Most of it has it away from the Meridian area, just south of us. There's that chance that Mother Nature could bring it up a little bit north, so I don't want anybody to be caught off guard. As you look at this one, as this is put out, that almost shows it really close to the Meridian area. And that's why I say we want to watch this. Now, as we look at this, this is what's being forecasted out of Jackson for light freezing rain tomorrow night. It has it south of us here at Laurel, Mississippi. But as we look back at that other map, it was shading very close to here. This is what we've got to watch. This is going to be Thursday night into Friday morning. And as we all know, Mother Nature sometimes has its own fault. Hopefully, this will go on. Freezing rain we do not want. But this will cut across, and then, again, as I mentioned, we'll move into portions of Alabama and then get thicker as it makes it to Georgia and the Carolinas and up through there. They're expecting a winter storm out of it. Our area just barely getting some light freezing rain out of this. And as of right now, the Meridian, Clark County area, as you go through Newton and Jasper, not involved in it right now. They say it's going to stay south of us, but we will watch this and we'll go live at any time and update this as it comes across. So be careful if you've got to go south Friday morning or any time after, say, 7 o'clock Thursday night into Friday morning, these areas south of Meridian. As we look at the New Orleans area, they're already predicting a wintry mix there in this area, as we saw that right through there is what we were just looking at. This area by Baton Rouge and Roberts, it'll be just north of New Orleans, but this area right through here in Macomb should also get a little bit of this wintry mix. That's the latest that we have right now. Now, this will be updated again later today. As always, when we want to give you the latest that we've got, it's not always when they're trying to figure out these storms, the absolute that's going to happen. This is one of those times that they're just unsure. as we watch this. Not a lot being said about it as forecasters scramble to figure out what they can. As we all know, the last storm, that wintry mix that came through, was not forecasted for here. It was not on there. And again, I'm not saying it's going to happen here, just trying to give you all the information that we've got of the surrounding areas that could be a possibility. It will be south of us. We'll watch this. Should this move in any way north or south, we'll be on top of it to give you the very latest of what becomes of that. That's what we've got. All right, let's look at our temperatures here. As we go back to this 6 to 10 day outlook, here we are, Mississippi below that eastern coastline. Look at that. It's well below average. Georgia, a little bit colder than Mississippi, portions of Alabama. But as you go into the Carolinas, it gets cold, cold, cold. Kind of normal out in West Texas. That's abnormal. It's usually hot out there, isn't it? So we'll watch all of this, and here's our forecast of what we've got. And there's two things that I'll show you. I'll give you the Meridian area forecast, and then we're going to look at the Laurel forecast. If you're watching from South Mississippi toward the coast in those areas, we'll look at that and tell you exactly what they say today. All right, let's go into our forecast here in the Meridian area and read what we've got. Today, a 20% chance of showers. This will be after 3 o'clock. High today of 67. Tonight, we're going to dip down to 39, wind gust of 20. We get a 100% chance of rain. And that's going to be between mainly, now we could get some showers earlier, but mainly between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. So all of our friends that are watching, where I showed you that map of the green map to where it has that severe weather there, Newton County and those areas, this is a late night event, 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. The kind that rattles the windows and things of that nature. And you don't want to hear that, I know, the later it is, but thank goodness it's just a level 1. It's not any more than that, but a level 1 for late tonight into tomorrow morning. Now, we look at tomorrow. 37 for a high. That's all concerning when I'm telling you that below us is the chance of freezing rain. 37 is not high. That's just above 5 degrees above freezing. We get to 28 tomorrow night. The forecast calls for Thursday for the Meridian area. 60% chance of rain ending by 8 a.m. Then the temperatures will start falling to 35 by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's going to be cold. We will start out and be warmer, and then it's going to fall. 25-mile-an-hour gust tomorrow. Now, Thursday night, the Meridian area calls for a cloudy sky, low around 28 with gust of 20 miles an hour. We have no mention of rain there after the morning hours whatsoever. By Friday, a cloudy sky, high only of 37 also. It's going to be bitter cold for us. That's what we're looking at. Now, let me pause here and pull this up and go back over here and read you what is going on in the Laurel area as we look at forecast of what they've got. Now, we get to Thursday, rain, pretty much the same way mentioned here in the Meridian area, before 9 a.m. with temperatures falling to 38. 90% chance of showers there. As we get into Thursday night, and again, this is right at the Laurel, Mississippi due south area, a slight chance of freezing rain and sleet after 1 a.m. This is right after midnight with a low around 29 degrees. So things will be a lot worse there in the Laurel area. There will gust of 20 miles an hour. By Friday, a slight chance of freezing rain and sleet before 11 a.m. with a high near 39 degrees. Now, again, this is only, an hour away? All it would take is a slight shift. I'm not saying it's going to happen here, but it's close to us. You should be aware of what this is. Again, Laurel is what I just read, so there won't be any confusion. Not in the forecast at all for the Meridian area, but it is for Laurel with that. And I know I've said that many times. I always get questioned on that. I want to make clear that everybody understood what I was talking about there. So that's what we're watching. The system as it moves through tomorrow night, Thursday night into Friday morning, moving out of Mississippi and Alabama and out of here. We'll watch this very closely. All right, as we look ahead, let's go back over here into temperatures through February the 2nd. We'll get some 50-degree weather, nighttime lows of about 30 to 35, mid-30s for most of it. As we get into February, we'll warm back up there. You'll see that chance of showers there when we reach that 60-degree mark. Hopefully it won't be anything bad. We're all over that. We'll watch that closely. So what's happening with deer hunting today? Let's see what the best time to go out to the woods are. Looks like it'll be an afternoon hunt from about 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Not bad. That's when we got some rain chances moving in, but we'll watch that. Good luck to you. What's the wind doing today? South wind of 5 to 10 miles an hour, gust of about 20 miles an hour is what we'll have. So not a bad day. It's listed as a good day to go out and hunt. So hit the woods, enjoy yourself. That's a quick look at the forecast this morning. Again, right now we're holding steady at 52. Rain is not going to affect us until later. That's going to come in probably after 3. Not bad. And then at 10 o'clock is when we'll have those chances of the rain getting a little bit worse. Now, as I said, let's go back over here before we close out this morning and pull this up. But let me show you the map of the severe weather for tonight and where these lines will be. Again, after 10 o'clock, here's the map as we dive into this. Mississippi only a level 1. We've got here from Shreveport down to nearly Beaumont. It doesn't quite make it into there, and most of Louisiana at a 2. As we move into this, let's look here. Let's turn on location so you'll know where you live in relation to what's going on. This will cut across right at Rose Mobile Homes. This is Garland here in Jasper County, comes into Newton County. Right at the Dollar General there at Hickory, y'all will see some storms be just due west of Lazy Acres. And as we move up here, this will shave right at the 4-way stop into Lauderdale County in Collinsville, take in the high school, barely missing the elementary school, staying just west of there into Kemper County. Now, all of this area here is under that level 1. We'll go into Kemper County, and it will cut just below here. That's going to be Highway 493. Doesn't quite make it to the Cowboy Church and makes it just about to the horse arena there at Scuba Tech. And then due north to Wahala and on up through Neshoba, Noxubee County, taking in all of Macon in these areas. All of this dark green is a level 1 tonight with severe weather after 10 a.m. So I hope I hadn't confused anybody. I hope I've explained it as slowly and as best I could of what our threats are over the next 48 hours. That's where we are. We're going to watch this, and we're going to go back over this again this morning beginning at 8. So join us. I do hope you'll do that. We'll all learn something together. We learn something new together each and every day. So thank y'all for dropping by for a little bit. I do appreciate it. As we begin our day. Again, 52 right now as we wait for rain after 3. I'll be back here in just a little bit. Thank y'all for coming by and spending a few moments with me. A big thank you to all of our sponsors as you see them on the screen as they go by there. Eastgate Tire there. Or if you need a set of tires, drop in and see Matthew. Family-owned, honest folks. They'll help you. All of our sponsors that we have here, I know on a personal level, they're good people. They go to church with you. Most of them do. Just look around. You'll see so many. Thanks a bunch. I'll see you back here in just a little over an hour. Good morning, Angela White. I see you up there. Thanks a bunch. We'll be back.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by